Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 4th Education Working Group meeting here today. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, the India Chair, I welcome all delegates to this edition of the working group, the 4th working group. Ladies and gentlemen, we started on the 31st of January our journey of putting together a roadmap for the Education Working Group. 31st January, ladies and gentlemen. The last working group was at Bhubaneswar, the 3rd, from the 26th to the 28th of April. In between, we had Amritsar, 15th to 17th March. For all of us, especially the India chapter, the India segment of the Education Working Group, it has been a wonderful experience of trying to build the future through collaboration, partnership, consensus on critical issues, the 4 themes that have been identified as far as the Education Working Group is concerned. What we have thought is a platform for the future, building partnerships, building linkages to ensure that education is the key pivot, it is the driver for growth in the future. We will be starting our introductory session today for the first segment of the meeting. We are honored, ladies and gentlemen, to have with us Mr. Harshvardhan Shringla, who is the Chief Coordinator for India's G20 presidency, amongst us. Thank you very much, sir, for being here today and being a part of the 4th Education Working Group. Ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, may I now request India Chair Mr. K. Sanjay Murthy to welcome our delegates. Sir.
Thank you, Chaitanya. A very warm welcome to Mr. Harshvardhan Shringla, Chief Coordinator of the India's G20 presidency and our former Foreign Secretary, our esteemed co-chairs from Indonesia and Brazil, distinguished delegates from G20 members and invited countries, our value knowledge partners, UNICEF, UNESCO, and OECD, friends and colleagues. It is my honor to welcome you to Pune, the cultural capital of Maharashtra, for the 4th and final meeting of the G20 Working Group under India's presidency. I would like to thank you for your enthusiastic participation in yesterday's seminar on ensuring foundational literacy and numeracy in the context of blended learning. I hope the sharing of experiences and best practices will help us take targeted action towards ensuring foundational learning for each child. I also hope you enjoyed the dinner served last night. Dear friends, we hold dear the memories of our first 3 working group meetings in Chennai, Amritsar, and Bhubaneswar, and truly appreciate your enthusiastic participation in all our events. We had very good interactions on all the 4 priority areas during the first and second working group meetings, where we shared our vision and initiatives, as well as ideas for synergetic action to tackle our shared challenges. In Bhubaneswar, we presented to you the draft Education Minister's Declaration, crystallizing the deliberation held in the previous 2 meetings. For 2 days, we held detailed deliberations on the draft declaration and were able to achieve a wide consensus on majority of the paragraphs. We look forward to working together with all of you in the next 2 days as well and catalyze joint action towards a concrete outcome document to ensure high quality, resilient, inclusive and sustainable education ecosystem for all. Under India's presidency, we find great value that the 4 priority areas that we have selected was a culmination of effort from all leading educational institutions of ours, as well as from the joint efforts of our departments of school education and skill ministry, along with their regulators, to come to these 4 priority areas in which we could have such detailed deliberations on all these earlier occasions. I hope we can make this visit as enjoyable and memorable one for everyone as the first 3. As a few of us have an opportunity to meet everyone yesterday at the seminar. For those who have just arrived, I hope you had a pleasant journey and we look forward to engaging with you over the next few days. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. May I now request the Chief Coordinator, Mr. Harshvardhan Shringla, sir, to kindly give his introductory remarks.
Honorable Secretary Higher Education, Mr. Sanjay Murthy, Secretary School Education, Mr. Sanjay Kumar, Secretary Skill Development, Mr. Atul Tiwari, distinguished G20 delegates, friends, Namaste and good morning. Let me begin by extending a very warm welcome to all delegates participating in the G20 Education Working Group meeting in Pune. It is only fitting that one of the most vibrant education hubs in our country bears witness to the deliberations of this prestigious Education Working Group. I would like to thank the Pune administration and the Maharashtra government for hosting us here this morning, and we are very grateful to them for all the arrangements made to ensure that the Education Working Group meeting is a resounding success. The first G20 meeting, one of the first G20 meetings was held in the city at the beginning of the year. The meeting was preceded by a number of initiatives by the Pune Municipal Corporation and other Pune city stakeholders to disseminate information on the G20 through seminars, G20 cyclothons, motorcycle rallies, youth rallies, and model G20 discussions in educational institutions in the city. The spirit of G20 truly shines in Pune. Friends, we are now past the halfway mark of India's G20 presidency. This is the 152nd meeting that we are hosting. And if you take all the meetings that we have hosted so far, we have covered 51 cities in our country in 26 states and union territories as of now. When we came up with the ambitious goal of hosting over 230 meetings in 60 cities in our country, it seemed like a truly daunting task, especially in the context in which we assumed presidency in the aftermath of the COVID pandemic. I'm happy to say, however, that under the leadership of our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, we are leveraging diversity as our strength to inspire the world towards universal peace. India is now the focus of global attention, with countries looking to the mother of democracy to find solutions for a multitude of crises regionally and globally. We humbly accept this challenge and welcome the world to join us in the spirit of one earth, one family, one future. Looking back at the last 6 months, we can confidently say that there have been substantial outcomes that underline India's G20 presidency. The search for a holistic, inclusive and sustainable education model has been going on since the first Education Working Group was established under the Argentinian presidency. Since then, a number of initiatives have been taken by successive presidencies to continue that work, and the G20 under India has taken the endeavor of previous presidencies, and our focus areas have been informed by the principles of inclusiveness, among others. Each of the three education working groups held this year have focused on one key priority area. In the first education working group in Chennai, the theme was the role of digital tech in education. The second meeting in Amritsar focused on strengthening research, promoting innovation through richer collaborations and partnerships. The third meeting in Bhubaneswar focused on building capacities, providing lifelong learning in the context of the future of work. The theme of this fourth and final meeting, as conveyed by Secretary Mr. Sanjay Murthy, is ensuring foundation literacy and numeracy, or FLN. This is highly important since although access to schools has expanded over the last few decades, a large number of children across the world still do not have FLN competencies. This is the final meeting before the outcome documents are presented in the Education Ministers meeting on 22nd June. I have no doubt that the solutions presented will chart a new course for the generations of tomorrow. Our children deserve a world where people-centric globalization is prioritized. Our presidency thus is a watershed moment in history. We are focused with you in driving towards an inclusive international order that works together despite ideological differences for sustainable global good. Ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, I would like to place on record my gratitude to Sri Sanjay K. Murthy group meetings. My thanks also go to the other secretaries who are with us, who have been also providing a very substantive advice and guidance to the working groups. A special thanks to those who have been behind the organization of the meeting and making it successful, specifically to my colleague Sri Chaitanya Prasad, advisor to the Education Ministry, and Joint Secretary Neeta Prasad in the Ministry of Education. I thank them all for their support. I wish the Education Working Group the very best in your collective endeavors to secure an inclusive, ambitious, and far-reaching outcome document. Thank you.
So thank you, sir, for your kind words. Now I'll request Chaitanya Prasad to